Good morning, good morning. A couple things. This is a pile of paper that I collected when I was cleaning out my paper bin. And it has partially painted, no painted, all kinds of different things on here. So let's paint. Word of advice first. If you buy these fillable paint markers with they're big tips. I don't know what you would call them. Not a magic marker, but I mean, they have almost a 3/4 of an inch tip on them. Okay, that's not going to show up. Almost 3/4 of an inch. They're foreign to the US, so they open backwards. I have been trying to open these things to learn how to fill them for months. They open backwards to the US, and I have 4 of them, so now I can fill them. But I think I saw somebody on Instagram, you know how that happens, that was using these on a jelly plate. Yes. So they're going to go back in my container, and now I know how to fill them. But I also have these bingo marker things. And I think you can use them for all kinds of things, but, well, I saw a lot of people using them on Instagram as bingo markers, but they're also great, like translucent paint or ink. So let's just start with our first layer with this. And I'm going to fast forward now, because this is going to take a long time. Oh, also, I saw somebody else do this. See, they're really translucent. So I think I'm going to start with a dark color, because a lot of this has something on it already. Oh, I thought there might be a black in here, but there isn't. Well, what color will the pink show up? Is pink the new black? I don't know. See, they're really light. I just kind of want to add some more, maybe cover up what's here. That's not going to work either. It's not the right color. Okay, here's a dark blue. Let's see what that does. Oh, that's better. Okay. But then I also saw somebody doing stuff like this, but then they just put the paper back here, and it kind of marks up the other side. Yes, this looks like Jackson Pollock. It's kind of what I was doing, but I think I dyed this over a year ago, or painted these over a year ago outside. Let's have a couple colors going. Let's have pink too on this one. They're just, maybe let's just put a bunch of circles on them. I don't know, this may not be a good idea. Okay, here's red. This is a rouge, ruby red. Okay. I'm just kind of pushing some of that other stuff back, and then I'll put more layers on it after all this dries. All right, blue and red. Okay, now we're going to fast forward. I am literally just throwing caution to the wind. I think I say that later, but I really did. Instead of being Scarlett O'Hara and being, I'll worry about it tomorrow, I threw caution to the wind this time instead of gone with the wind. It's just, I think if you think too much, this is me on trying to saying, if you think too much, you restrict yourself. If you kind of just go with wild abandon with bingo daubers and just doodle with bingo daubers, you might be surprised what you might come up with. It was interesting seeing the different textures and how the ink from the bingo daubers and the paint, acrylic paint, different brands, how it all kind of worked against each other. different strengths of paper. There was a mishmash here. This one, oh my goodness. Love that. Love that. Tempera paint sticks. Everything. This one was interesting too. Very interesting. That is a pink dauber on the paper. And then I'm taking a tempera paint stick white, and it's all turning lavender. Unbelievable. But again, just trying to make these papers where I'll use them instead of stashing them and keeping them for years and years and years. That's getting better. This is really pretty. The acrylic. This is water mixed media paper. Acrylic. And then this translucent stuff is really cool on top. I was hoping more stuff bled through. Ooh, that's a good one right there. Maybe. I was just hoping more stuff bled through. That has possibilities now. It's so interesting because the acrylic on magazine paper and then this doesn't do anything. It's really interesting. Anyhow, let's let all these dry really good overnight. Even though they're in a stack. Come back. May not do anything else to that. Oh, there's some more wet stuff. That's good. Okay, gonna leave that one alone. I got a couple here I'm gonna leave alone. This was a shock. Now it's turning purple. It's black cardstock with the white tempera paint stick and then the pink over the top. No, the pink first and then this on top. But now it's turning lavender. Interesting. I have almost thrown these away a couple times because, I mean, they are just for bingo, but it's interesting. The next step I think we're going to do is with a jelly plate to these same pages, just to see what happens. And it'll be interesting to see, because I've seen people use these on jelly plates. So, I do have a couple I'm not going to mess with though. I like that now. I like that now. There's a spot right there. Kind of like this now. I might use this tomorrow. But this is getting better. That's getting better. And I think that's the only ones I pulled out. Yeah. So, let all these dry. Come back in 24 hours. Warning, some of these clips I talked over but it was going to be a 45-minute video, so we kind of are condensing it here. So I'm doing a voiceover. So if you see my hands moving around, that's because I was talking to you, but nobody needs 45 minutes of me in the morning. So this morning, or this was actually a couple days ago, I kind of went through all of them, and my camera is too close. Next time I do this, I'll back up my camera. But the interesting techniques, again, the way everything took was really incredible to watch. Throwing caution to the wind and just not thinking about anything. Letting the jelly plate and the paint in water against the jelly plate where it separates and makes little cells. Or whether the ink from the bingo daubers change colors when you apply the paint on top of it. Then adding water or grungy paint next to it. I mean, just the whole gamut of adding things, taking things away, making shapes, making abstract shapes, adding circles on top of squares, lettering, sloppy lettering on top of other things. I am a big circle person, so I use a lot of circles, but just mixing colors. And this was probably a total of about 2 hours. 1 hour one day and 1 hour another day. But what I ended up doing was taking paper, that I hadn't used that was hanging around for a year or two or more in some cases. And now they have a little bit more interest just by adding some more layers on top of them. And that's why I kind of wanted to do these end of the month projects, because it gives me time with you to do things that I haven't been doing lately. And using the supplies that I have, I love using my own paper. Really, really and truly, making my own paper is the best. And just not even using the Gelli plate sometimes, just mixing the paint, the bingo daubers and paint together. What all that did, hopefully I don't clog up my bingo daubers, but if I do, they're pennies, seriously. But just taking paper that I wasn't using and making it possibly more usable now. That was the entire goal, and that's having a pleasant effect. So I consider this whole project successful, and having fun. That's my entire life goal, is having fun, and just really. And I learned another important thing during this session: go to the edges. There's so many pages where I have an edge on the paper that's white, or I don't have any color, or whatever. Use the entire sheet of paper, whatever kind of paper it is. And keep in mind, I am not teaching you. I am just letting you observe what I do. These are the kind of videos I like to watch. These are the kind of videos I like to make. There are tons of videos on how to use a Gelli plate or how to add abstract shapes or whatever. That's how I learned. If I have learned, I'm not sure yet. So yeah, me not teaching, me just having fun, and hopefully you are having fun too. That's the entire goal. Okay, you have seen me over the course of 2-3 sessions. I'm trying to clean off my dauber. Hopefully I didn't. I mean, if I ruined them, they were cheap toys, but don't want to ruin my fun cheap toys. You've seen me paint over the last 2 or 3 nights, three times, not nights, because I started last night, early this morning, and then later this morning. That's why I still have paint all over me. But, oh dear. I have thrown caution to the wind. Sometimes I'm Scarlett O'Hara with Gone with the Wind, and I worry about things tomorrow. But this time I threw caution to the wind. And using one Gelli plate. I was going to use this round one, but I never did. And I made myself not purposely put colors together, except maybe lights, darks. Not purposely do anything. And you hear people say this all the time. You have to let go, let go. It really does work. Some of these I don't like. Some of them are fine. But they could get torn up into smaller pieces, and that's fine. That is fine. I did find that the daubers kind of lift up a little bit. The bingo daubers. That's how I'm getting slurries of color in some places. But all of them are useful. And at the beginning, they were all still sitting in a pile in my paper stack because I hadn't liked them. Now, theoretically, I can like them better and maybe use them. Not say, oh, I don't like that piece of paper. I still don't. A year later, I still don't. Some of them may take. This one was really pretty. There was pink. There was dark blue. There was white. There was green. There was yellow. Paint bingo dauber in there. There was all kinds of stuff. This one kind of looks like the Grand Canyon leopard print, right? So much fun. So much fun. Just sitting here, thinking about football, thinking about moving my room around again in here. Again. These are the ones I really liked, and I'll tell you why. I say these are the ones I really liked, I think. Well, no, not this one. Then I started writing. I just wrote abstract, very abstract, like a contour line drawing and not release. And there were 3 different pulls on here from the Gelli plate. Like that. This one. because it's a magazine paper, it's slick, but there was already acrylic paper down here. But adding water to the Gelli plate brings up these dots in surf-like looking places. I mean, like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. That one is really pretty. This one I like, but I stopped. I just put some circles on from the Gelli plate in here, and this is where this paint was pulling up, the turquoise from the daubers the night before, last night. This one, I don't know what happened. It is a nicer color piece of paper. It's mixed media. The red, what was the red from? I don't know what I did, where I got the red from last night. Maybe, okay, a dauber. But I put white over it and it turned stuff pink. I didn't do that. That's Mother Nature in the paint bottle. Love that. Oh dear, my stack's falling over. They're not all dry, so I'm kind of just tossing them. I love this one. Same technique, just the right color combination of colors. The print underneath, beautiful. These are some of these splattered Jackson Pollock ones, and they're coming to life. Like them much better now, much better, because you can see the stuff underneath. You can see the layers from the paint dauber to the paint to the water in the paint to different colors. Just really cool, really cool. Oh, this one is cool too. This is on craft paper, so it's brown to start off with, but I did a pink wash over the top from the Gelli plate. Then when that was a tad drier, I did some circles, but all these colors underneath are the ink from the daubers, and they're coming through. And it might be the contrast between the ink and the acrylic working against each other, but I like it. Oh, I love this one. These are really wet. Another one of my Jackson Pollocks, and I put the white paint with the yellow bingo dauber over the top of what I had done last night, which was pink and blue, it looks like. Oh my God, that's gorgeous in a strange sort of way. This one I just made watery plus signs with lots of lots of white acrylic and yellow paint dauber, and it was bringing up the pink underneath from last night because of the ink. Ugh. And this one I might just hoard for a while. This was orange acrylic from a Gelli plate a long time ago, but I didn't like it, hadn't been using it. And I think I had put dark circles in here. Oh no, I put the dark circles last night with the blue bingo dauber. Then this morning I went over it with the white and the blue paint and water, and it just kind of bubbles up on its own. Lava. So much fun. So I have taken about 15 pieces of paper that I was hoarding because I didn't like them, but I couldn't throw them away. And now I like almost all of them. Achieve that. It's rewarding. Thanks for watching. Bye.